Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Max Story.
Thank you for joining me on the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast today. Today, I continue my series on my book, 10 Foundational Elements of Intentional Transformation, How to Become Your Best Self. So today, I'm on the third level, the third foundational element of intentional transformation. And as I'm doing with each one of these episodes, I want to take you back and recap it, because it's kind of like we're building a pyramid as we go through these layers. We start out at the base, and the pyramid gets smaller, but the layers keep stacking up, and finally we get this thing built. So remember, in the beginning, we talked about values. That's like the earth where we're going to build the pyramid. And then our first layer, first foundational element, is thought is the foundation of choice. And the second foundational element that we talked about last time, choice is the foundation of vision. And then today we're talking about element 3. Vision is the foundation of hope. That's why you need vision. What we choose to imagine will make us feel fearful or hopeful. But vision is the foundation of hope. That's why you need a vision, because you need to have hope. And if you can't create the vision, you can't generate hope based on your own thoughts, then you got to borrow a vision from someone else, which will generate hope in your life, or you're going to be in a bad spot. I'm going to tell you, when you run out of hope, you're done. When someone takes their life, there's one reason. They're out of hope. A lot of times they close themselves off from other people, so they can't get hope from someone else. Then they can't generate it within themselves. Hope's a big deal. It's a big deal for staying alive, but it's also a big deal for getting you from where you are to where you want to be. So there are 3 requirements for humans to act. And you got to go back, though, and you got to remember, everything's based on our values, but then that first layer is thought. Thought becomes a foundation for our choices. Choice becomes the foundation for vision. And vision is the foundation of hope. But there are 3 requirements for humans to act. 1, and you got to have all of these. For this book or this series to do you any good, you got to meet these 3 requirements. Because these 3 requirements, you have to have them before you're going to act. Dissatisfaction with the present state of affairs. Whatever that means for you. You may have dissatisfaction in one area of your life or 20 areas of your life. But you got to have dissatisfaction with the present state of affairs before you'll act. But there's 2 more you still got to have. Second one, that's why we're talking about it right here. A vision of a better state. You got to have a vision that it could be actually better. And then the third thing is belief that you can reach that better state. So you got to have dissatisfaction with present state of affairs, a vision of a better state, and belief that you can actually reach that better state. If you got all of those 3 things, there's a good chance you're going to take action. And again, you got to remember, this entire book, this short series I'm doing, the book's 30 chapters, 3 pages each. I'm doing basically 11-part series, maybe a few more, but an introduction and then all these 10 foundational elemental levels of transformation. That's what the main series consists of, these 10, where I'm kind of covering 3 chapters kind of packed into one little session, and I'm adding other stuff to it, but I'm leaving out a lot of stuff too that's in the book. It's just too much to talk about. It'd take me 12 hours to teach that entire book, if not longer. But when just one of these requirements is missing, people will not act. So I want to share a little story. This is straight out of the book because I want to read it to you. But it's in chapter 7. And so several years ago, I discovered a rather odd but impactful story illustrating how vision can create hope. An experiment was performed with laboratory rats to measure their motivation to survive under different circumstances. So this is how it worked. Scientists would drop a rat into a jar of water that had been placed in total darkness, which means had no vision. And they would time how long it would continue swimming before it gave up, which means it was hopeless, and allowed itself to drown. The scientists discovered the rats would usually survive approximately 3 minutes in the dark without hope. That means they had no vision and they were hopeless. These rats would survive about 3 minutes before they drowned. Next, the scientists dropped other rats individually into the same type of jar. But instead of placing them in total darkness, again, which meant they had no vision, no hope, the scientists allowed a ray of light, which is symbolic of hope, to shine in. So it just had a small sliver of light shining in, so it was not complete darkness. Under those circumstances, the rat kept swimming for 36 hours with that ray of light, which again was giving the rat hope. That's 720 times longer than the rats trying to survive in the dark with no vision and no hope. Purely went from total darkness to a sliver of light with a rat swimming in water. How long would they last? Went from 3 minutes to 36 hours. That's crazy. Because the rats could see, which meant they had vision, literally, they continued to have hope. If this is true for a rat, imagine the amount of hope a strong and powerful personal vision will provide for you. Because I guarantee you, you're much more capable of imagining and reasoning yourself into a brighter future, one filled with light instead of darkness. But you have to do it. A lot of people take themselves into the darkness because they listen to their thoughts. You can change your thoughts. If you have bad thoughts, quit thinking that and think about something else. It sounds simple, and it is, but it's mighty difficult for some people. You have to develop discipline, how to think. Once you've clearly defined your vision, you got to ask yourself again, is it possible my vision can become my reality? I remember when I first discovered leadership speakers and saw them on videos and saw them with the crowds and that kind of stuff. I was just learning this stuff, but I started having a vision. Man, I want to do that one day. I want to do that one day. I want to do what they're doing. And I said, is it possible my vision could become my reality? Absolutely possible, but I knew I had a lot of work to do. It wasn't going to be easy. I had to give up a lot of stuff. I gave up a lot of stuff to be talking to you today. I gave up my house. I gave up my toys, my Ford Raptor 4-wheel drive. I had a Corvette Z06 with long tube headers. Things sound like a NASCAR. I mean, it set off alarms when you drive by people. I mean, it was a wicked, wicked car. And the truck was pretty cool too. But I gave all that up. And Rhea joined me, and she had a Hummer, and she gave that up. I started driving a Nissan Sentra. Nothing wrong with a Nissan Sentra, but you got to understand there's a big difference between a Nissan Sentra and a Corvette Z06 tricked out, or a Ford Raptor. And Rhea started driving a Toyota Corolla. We sold our house, our swimming pool, our hot tub, all that stuff was gone. We quit eating out. We changed our entire lifestyle to be doing what I'm doing right now for you. I gave all this up for you. But see, it started with me because this is what I wanted to do. It started with me, but it's not about me. Because if you're listening and you're getting value out of this, or you're reading a book, it's about you. But it started with me. All I had to do was say, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Now I had to figure out how to go do it. But you may not be able to tell yourself with integrity, you can do it. So if not, don't lie to yourself. That's not doing you any good. However, don't concern yourself with trying to decide if you can or can't do it. That's not important. You're missing the point. What's important is your belief that it's possible. Knowing it's possible will provide you with the hope you need to turn your vision into reality. See, I meet people all the time. They know they'd like to be doing something else, and they see other people doing it, and they say, man, I could do it better. They may not say it out loud. Some people do, but they say to themselves, man, I could do that. I could do it better. I actually want to do that. How come this joker's getting to do it and I'm not? I'm going to tell you why. Because they're doing it and you're not. Because see, you're missing the whole question. The question is not, do we want to do what somebody else is doing? The question is, are we willing to pay the price that they paid to get to do what they're doing? I talk to a lot of people who want to do what I'm doing. What I figure out pretty quickly is they don't want to pay the price I had to pay to get to do what I'm doing. They don't want to give up their income. I gave up well into the six figures income when I got rid of all my stuff, my toys I was telling you about, my house. I had to get rid of all that because I gave up my income, went to zero, started back over. Rhea gave up all of her income, went to zero. We were well into the six figures, went to zero. Most people I talk to, they don't want to go to zero. They don't want to give up nothing. They just want to do what I'm doing. Most of those people, they ain't never going to do it. If you read this book, you'll understand I gave up alcohol 4 years into my journey. I didn't give it up for me. I kind of liked alcohol. I gave it up for you because I want to be a good example. So in a sense, I did give it up for me because I want to be a good example for you. But if I didn't care about helping other people and being a good role model, I wouldn't have gave it up. I wouldn't give up a whole lot of stuff in my life for me alone. But remember, it ain't about me, but it starts with me. So knowing it's possible is going to provide you with the hope you need to turn your vision into your reality. You should also seek reinforcement from those who believe in you and your mission. I'm one of those people at the moment. Because I'm telling you, whatever you want to do is possible and you can do it. But you got to pay the price. There ain't no shortcuts. Others who believe in you will also reinforce your belief that your vision is possible. So you got to look for those who are going to support you and avoid those who won't. And I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot who won't. Rhea and I, we didn't even really, we didn't ask anybody. We didn't mention really what we were doing to anybody. We just did it. We didn't want to hear our family say how stupid we were, how crazy we were. I had spent 20 years and getting my experience. And during that time, I got a college degree and, all this experience to be doing what I was doing. I said, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to do something different. And Rhea, she spent 10 years. She had to first get her GED. And then she went all the way through a master's degree. And she made a 4.0, straight A's all the way from start to finish. But it took her 10 years to go from GED to master's degree. But she was working full time. And she built a career in healthcare administration. And then she gave it all up. Gave up the salary, gave up the career, everything she had worked for. Same thing I did. We didn't give anybody veto power. We didn't ask anybody's opinion because you know what? It didn't matter. They didn't have to do it. They didn't want to do it. Most people we know, they take an easy road in life. Slow and steady. Most of them are miserable, but slow and steady. I'm talking about even family members or friends we had back in those days. Slow and steady. No passion, no purpose. Just trying to make money to pay the bills. Nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, that ain't what I want to do. That ain't what Ria wanted to do. This book is about how to get you to the next level, especially if you don't have anybody who can help you get there mentally. Most often, people you don't know can help you the most. You may not know me, but I'm trying to help you. You may not have anybody in your life that you actually know and have known for years that can help you think the way I'm trying to help you think. So how can someone you don't know help you the most? It's real simple. And it may not be me, it may be somebody else. It's because they've written books, they've made audios, they've did podcasts, they've made videos to help people just like you, people just like me. It's why I read all the time. I can't go meet these people. These people don't care who I am, but they wrote a book to help people like me who want to help themselves. That's how I made the transition, the transformation. That's what this book is, this podcast series right now. It's a mental roadmap. It's literally, how did I do it? When I sat down to write this book, a lot of people want to know, how did I do it? How did you get from where you were to where you are? Because for some people, they think it's just unbelievable that I was in manufacturing. I was doing lean manufacturing, process improvement, all that kind of stuff. And now I'm speaking at Yale University, traveling all over the country. I only spoke at Yale once, but that's enough to say I did it. It's pretty cool. I had to figure out where it was at on Google. I didn't even know what state it was in. We did that in October 18th, 2018. But we spoke at all kind of industries outside of manufacturing, all kind of industries outside of blue collar groups. 2008, I ain't never heard this stuff. But when I discovered it, I started reading it every day. That's what I'm talking about, paying the price. Again, it's paying a price relative to wherever you want to go. Everybody needs the stuff that I talk about because it's all about character. And character is the most important component. But unless you want to do what I'm doing, you got to add something else on, which is competency relative to whatever it is you want to do. My character and competency happen to be the same thing because this is what I want to do. But if I wanted to be a doctor, I still need to do this. If I want to be a welder, to be highly effective, I still need to do all the leadership development, the personal growth, the character development. That's where you launch like a rocket compared to everybody else as you work on you. I've just made this my purpose in life. It is my purpose, but I've made it's my vision to do as much of this as possible. People say, what do you see yourself doing next year? More of this. What about 10 years from now? 10 times more than this. This is all I want to do. I want to read every day and get better, and I want to help other people get better. But you may be reading my book, but I know you're listening to the podcast. But you may be reading a book separate from this, most likely written by someone you don't know, who wants to help you move forward, someone who believes in you and your vision. But reading books written by people who have done what you want to do, or by people who are doing what you want to do, allows you to get into some of the greatest minds with the most valuable insight. You don't want to go to talk to people who are doing what you're doing right now if this is not what you want to do. You want to talk to people who are doing what you want to do, how you want to do it, getting the results you want to get. And no, they may not talk to you on the phone. They may not meet with you and speak with you. But if you go do your research, you can find people out there, all kinds of information. A lot of it's free. Just like on LinkedIn. I have over, 250 or something articles. I can't even keep up with it. A lot of articles, maybe 300 articles on LinkedIn. I've got videos on YouTube. I've got these podcasts. And I'm just one person. There's thousands and thousands of people out there doing it. You just got to go do the work. And then you got to do the small work. But whatever you do, don't make the common mistake of asking your friends and your relatives to validate your vision. Don't give them veto power. Unless they've done what you want to do or are doing what you want to do, they're not likely to provide meaningful support. Instead, they will usually question your ability, and they'll provide plenty of reasons it can't or won't happen. And the big thing they're going to do is they're going to place doubt in your mind. And if you're trying to do something and accomplish something you ain't never done, you don't need doubt getting in the way. So these people are not necessarily bad people. They simply haven't been where you've been and don't want to go where you're going. So think about this. If you decide to climb to the top of Mount Everest, that could be your vision. That might be your vision right now. You may be thinking, I want to go climb Mount Everest. It may not be, probably not, but it could be. Let's just use it in this example. Whatever it is the vision you have for yourself, figuratively speaking, it is probably Mount Everest. Getting from where you are to there is like climbing Mount Everest. You don't know how to do it. You got to learn. It's going to be hard. So think about it. If you literally want to climb to the top of Mount Everest, you'll obviously want to seek support, guidance, and direction from someone who's already been to the top. You want to talk to a tour guide. You would not want to seek support, guidance, and direction from someone who's only booked trips for people who want to climb to the top. That's a travel agent. This simple principle applies in all areas related to turning your vision into reality. You want to talk to tour guides, not travel agents. What that means, again, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, if someone has not done it or has not done it well, they're a travel agent. If they're telling you how to get there and they've never done it or never done it well, they're a travel agent trying to tell you how to get there, but they don't know themselves. Don't talk to those people. You're looking for tour guides. They've already done it and they've done it well. They've done it and they've done it well in the past, or they've done it and they're doing it well today. That's where you want to learn from. People who are doing what you want to do, how you want to do it, that's who you learn from, however you have to do it. Some people want to talk. I've had people pay me up to $750 to talk to me for an hour. That tells me those people are serious. They value my time. They value their time. They're serious. I had other people who don't want to be in a room with me when I talk for free. What's the difference? People who pay me $750 an hour to talk to me, their values are aligned with my values. They want to go where I'm at or where I've been. People who don't care, who wouldn't pay a penny to be in a room with me and wish their boss wouldn't tell them to be in a room with me sometimes, those people's values are not aligned with my values. That's what it comes down to. Viktor Frankl, he was a concentration camp survivor. He made this very wise observation. He says, everyone has his own specific vocation or mission in life. Everyone must carry out a concrete assignment that demands fulfillment. Therein, he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be repeated. Thus, everyone's task is as unique as his specific opportunity to implement it. So what I'm saying, reason I put that quote there, is you are unique. Your vision is unique. Some may not understand. That's okay. Make it happen anyway. When I started this, all I knew is I wanted to be in leadership development, personal growth. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know where I was going to do it. But see, what I'm doing is unique. Go get on Google and go find out how many other people you can find doing this for the blue collar, doing what I do at the level I do it at for the blue collar workforce, those who lead them and those who support them. And see, I didn't see that coming. That's where I ended up after I started driving. I've got 5 books now out of my 13. The last 5 are on blue collar leadership. All of my future books probably are going to be in that series. I've honed in. That's my space. That's my lane. Most people will say, oh, it would never work there. Because the stuff I'm teaching you, the stuff I teach frontline, entry-level, blue-collar workers, it's the stuff that in the past mostly has been reserved for white-collar executives. The big dog, as me and my folks from the front lines call them. This is what the big dogs get taught. This is what they learned. And as soon as I figured that out, I said, oh, I'm taking that down to my folks. I'm going to put it in my language and their language and help those folks develop the same kind of mindset as those big dog white collar executives who's making the big money. But see, the thing is, a lot of them are unhappy too. A lot of them need this little book right here. So without vision, your hope will fade into darkness as it did with the rats. But with vision, your hope remains, giving you a reason to keep swimming, so to speak. You got to maintain hope that your vision will become your reality. Remember that? We're only on the third foundational element out of 10. Each one of these levels supports the next level, and each one of these have to be sustained and maintained in place for the next level to be able to be achieved. So we're only on level 3, vision, which is the foundation for hope. Napoleon Hill had this to say: cherish your vision and your dreams as they are the children of your soul, the blueprints of your ultimate achievements. That's pretty cool right there. Cherish your vision and your dreams as they are the children of your soul, the blueprints of your ultimate achievements. So see, vision provides direction. Knowing where we're going allows us to chart the course. It sounds so simple, but I'm telling you, this book is a mental roadmap. It walks you through the thought process. You don't have to go reinvent the wheel. You may do some things completely different than me, but what I'm teaching you in this book, and I'm sharing with you in this podcast series, are the principles. The principles apply to everybody, no matter where you are and where you're going. Principles are all the same. The practices, what you actually have to do to get from where you are to where you want to be, that may be different. But the principles is what I'm talking about here. The mental mindset is the same. Andy Stanley said this, it's pretty cool. Clarity of vision will compensate for uncertainty in planning. If you are unclear about the destination of the journey, even the most sophisticated, well thought through strategy is useless. Pencil in your plans, etch the vision in stone. So those last few words by Andy Stanley were powerful. And I'm going to end on this today. Pencil in your plans, etch the vision in stone. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.